So guys, right, got a really good video here for you. We're going to be looking at freewheeling your driver, getting in what I like to call the driver zone. I'm going to be looking at some really interesting clips here so that we can create some space and really launch this thing with freedom through the golf ball. Oh, I did hit that one nicely. Guys, evidence-based material, looking at how to hit great drivers. It's the most important part of the game. It's the longest club, it's the lightest club, it's the fastest club, and driving it effectively will lower your scores quicker than any other part of your game. Now, before we get into the video and we talk about how to feel certain moves and how to get in this, what I like to call this driver zone, let's have a look at some great moves, some great swingers. We'll find out how to get, or where we should be, in and around impact. When we look at the averages of movement, the closer you get to these positions, people, the better you will hit the golf ball.
So hi everyone, right, PGA averages of movement in the driver zone. The closer you get to this position, the better you're going to hit it. Let's have a look at McIlroy starting in the yellow circle and moving down and to his right. Okay, getting into impact. Have a look at DeChambeau on this side. Starting in the yellow circle, moving down and to his right. Now the advantages of this movement down, and the average is 3 inches of movement down from the PGA Tour players. Why do they do it? Right, now it can hit it with a bent right arm. It also, what it does is it really lifts up this lead hip here. Now this is one of the secrets to the golf swing when you're looking at getting a free movement, to free wheel through the ball and to hit the ball not on the way down. All right, this is actually going to create some room for you. This is an essential part of hanging onto your angles and not throwing your angles away. Let's go further in to a couple of other players here and get an understanding of that. When we're having a look from the back view, Matt Wallace here, great golf swing, this guy. All right, now let's just pop a quick line here. We'll pop a line on the top of the head. We'll just have a look, a little bit of movement downwards. Now, when you're seeing this movement down, look at these plain lines here, guys. You've got to be filming your swings. All right, we're showing you this on World Class Golf Instruction. Just growing really fast, happy to say. But looking at that club face control, filming your swings with your mobile phones and getting in there and having a really good look where these entries are. Look at that entry coming in behind the hands there with the club face beautifully on this side of 12 o'clock. But look at the head moving downwards. Okay, now you're getting into impact. We're going to be seeing it hit with a bent right arm. This is power pure. Right, getting that angle into here and looking at getting this hip joint up and over 10 degrees, between 10 and 17 degrees. An essential part of solid ball striking. Let's have a look at Patrick Reed here as we move, and this is a really good video here. A very centered head, and what a player this guy is when he gets going. Head moving down and to his right, and that 3 inches of movement downwards, that 3 inches, that PGA average here. Guys, once you get your body moving in the correct fashion here, we're going to get a really good gauge. Now this system I'm using here, the V1 Home Studio, all right, this is an amazing system. You can get in there and enjoy your lines and your angles. Looking at PGA averages, this is normally around $600 a year, but you can get it on World Class Golf. Look at this, we got about 14 degrees there. This area here, get this on World Class Golf for around $99 a year, if you remember. Fantastic system. And really, even looking here at my own swing, you'll see here through the golf ball, I'll just hit one here, that nicely. We're just looking at that head movement. We get a bit of a shadow effect here. You'll see the head moving down and slightly to the right. Lateral movement here, guys. We've got around 4 to 6 inches of lateral movement with that lead hip, and this is getting us in a great place. Now, guys, let's have a look at how we can feel this move, practice this move, and get ourselves inside some of these PGA averages of movement.
So very interesting looking at the averages of movement and getting ourselves in this driver zone. What a wonderful position it is when you can get your body close or in this position. It really is a fantastic feeling. Let's talk about how we can get in there with some drills and some exercises and perhaps a cause and effect for some of you golfers out there trying this. You may, at the start, push them out to the right slightly. Let's look at the drill, and we'll talk about, now this is also very important for advanced players, not hitting their driver all that great. We'll talk about a couple of statistics, biomechanics, a few stats here, where we can get ourselves into, trusting something. Now we want to be working with great information, and once you can trust it, you've got some patience. Here's the drill, here's the feel, right? We've got the hands on the outside of the leg. Now you've got your address position. Now your stance is going to be wider. It promotes a longer flat spot at the bottom. I'm not going to get into all of the finer details here, but we are looking at this move into impact. Now, when I get my hands on the outside of my thighs, what I'm doing is I'm just really getting this left thigh, or this left hand to move up the thigh and the right to move down. Now you can see at the same time, if I get a line over my head here, we'll just see that the head moves downwards slightly and to the right. Now this is dropping this right hip and it's lifting this lead hip. All right, and it actually looks pretty good. The couple of things, when it starts to look decent, you know, most things that look good, generally they are, right? So getting yourself in a position like this is not that great. We see the left hip's a bit lower now. Now block shots, it's a massive thing for so many players out there, blocking it and flipping it. And this move here of your hips, just have a look at this side here. When I come into impact, and you can see that I'm turning a little bit high with this right hip, you can see the belt buckle, right? Now you can see that it's quite low. Now there's an area here that it's 10 to 17 degrees up this lead hip. And this, people, is what helps us hang on to our angles rather than throwing the angles away because we're up too high. All right, so just by dropping a little bit down into that downswing, you're going to lift up this lead hip, but your arm's going to stay a little bit bent as well. So if I get up, if I stay very level and turn level, I have to throw my arms literally to get contact. Now you can see I'm turning this way, but I've lost all my angles and my right arm straight. All right, so to hit something really hard and hit it well, you want to have the arms slightly bent. And it's like a zone, right? It's like you've got your address position and you just lower down and you'll find this, it's like a clicking spot. Right? It's what creates the room. It's this right hip high that actually gets stuck. A lot of players come down with their arms way behind them, but they don't get stuck. You can see players come out in front and they still get stuck. It's what your hips do, right? It's creating that move on the way down, that right hip moving down, the head's going to move down, and you've got this lifting up, and this is what can give you the space. Now, you've got to time it, obviously. You know, you want things to collect up the top, and then you're moving a little bit laterally down and through the ball. Now, for some of you out there, when you try this move, because there's not a lot of people really driving it nicely, really strong and long and straight. Not really, I don't see it that much. You know, so what you'll see a lot of the time is when you try something like this, you'll hit it a bit to the right.
World Class Golf Instruction has over 700 detailed videos for every golfer. Practice programs and evidence-based material is applied to helping you to become your own coach and play your best golf. Join us in the chat room and join the community of World Class Golf Instruction.
Now what you're going to try and do for the club golfers is, however you got your grip set up there, you really want to get this to come back. If you look at my watch here pointing at the target, you really, as you get back into this impact position, you really want to get this left hand to come back to the original position. Obviously it makes sense. But when we start to get a little bit of this move, the tendency is for the face to hang slightly open and we push the ball. So don't panic at the start if you push it, but you may need a little bit, for some of the less skilled players, you may need a little bit of rotation. And if you've seen some of my videos, looking at that lead wrist moving more after impact into some extension. So guys, wonderful drill, getting that right side to lower, getting that freedom, getting that arm to be a little bit bent, and getting your hip planes in the right position. Practice this. Copy, imitate. We're imitating something to create something. We're stealing some of these positions from these very, very skilled players. And as I said, the closer we get, the better we hit. Guys, have a look at worldclassgolf.com. So many videos on that, helping lots of people improve their golf. And if you're after online lessons, my online lessons go for around 20-30 minutes, and teaching people from heaps of people in America, from all around the world. Check out craighansongolf.com. I hope you liked the video and get stuck into it, and we'll see you next time.